How's everybody? Everybody got pretty good turnout considering, you know what, we're in the second Tuesday again. We kind of threw you off, all right? There was just some, well, I was on vacation, so let me just tell the truth, all right? So that's why I decided to change the meetings. When you own the company, that's what I can do, all right? So here we are. All right, Scott, right? Yes. All right, so my old friend Scott, who I just asked his name, all right, from D.R. Horton's going to come share with us about what they've got going on. They are our official meeting sponsor, and they've got to run, so.
We're really excited.
Absolutely. Now, it's not a microphone,
Yeah.
it's just so that
People online?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And then did you say the clicker is working?
Yeah, let's see. Let's double check it. Turn it on first. Green is go.
Green is go. There you go.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
All right.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here, bright and early. And I've just got to say, if you know this lady back here, Becky Eckley, this is my aunt, and I haven't seen her in yes, yes. I'm Scott Eckley, and that's Becky. And I haven't. How long has it been since we've seen each other? It's been. Couple years. She left. She went to Alabama, and then she never see her, and then she's back. And I love this lady to death, and she's amazing, and I just love you and miss you. So we're gonna have dinner here real soon, I promise. I just had to do that. So it is so great to see everybody. Thank you so much. I've got a quick little PowerPoint presentation. This is Ellie Moriatis. Ellie is one of our on-site salespeople, and she's at the community of Epperson. If you've been, a lot of people have probably heard of Epperson, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, and I want to introduce her ahead of time. For those people who may not know who D.R. Horton is, we are America's #1 home builder. We don't just say that because we have a high opinion of ourselves, but nobody has sold more, sold or closed more homes over the last 15 years now than we have on an annual basis. And I always say being the largest doesn't necessarily make you the best, but when you've been selling more homes than anybody else 15 years in a row, you got to be doing something right. The one thing I know that we're doing right are presentations like this. You're not going to find D.R. Horton billboards. You're not going to see us in the newspaper. We don't spend on traditional marketing and advertising. We buy a lot of Panera and sponsor a lot of realtor events. Realtors are the lifeblood of our organization. I'll share some data with you here in a little bit, but I just want to begin by saying thank you for everything you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and I just want to keep it going. In 2017, we were, by Big Builder magazine, and that's kind of our industry Bible, named a Builder of the Year by Big Builder. This is like the 4th time D.R. Horton's been been honored with that award, but it's just something we're really proud of and wanted to share that. I know this looks like one of those Republican Democrat things. It's not. It's just where we're doing business. So 27 states, 79 markets, and you know the reason I come out is we got a lot going on right here, and we're really excited about it, and I want to share that with you. For those people who do like data, like the numbers, these are the closings last year. So these are actual industry numbers. So DHI, that's our ticker symbol. Last year we closed 41,662 homes. So those are closed. LER is Lennar. They're the #2 builder in the United States at 26,000. PHM would be Pulte Homes. Pulte Home closed just under 20, 19,951. NVR sells under the Ryan brand. And then CAA, that Cal Atlantic, that was when there was a Standard Pacific and Ryland. Those two companies merged and became Cal Atlantic. What's interesting is when I did this presentation 3 years ago, the gap between us and number 2 was about 25, 26%, and 3 years later it's 57%. So I get asked the question, you know, so what's going on? Why are you selling so many homes? And well, that's why I'm here today, to let you know about that. And I said I'd share more data, and this is where I really want to say thank you. So you can see the run we've had here in Tampa. In 2012, we sold 409 homes. I think that made us the #3 or 4 builder in the market. And 2013 was 576, nice business. 2014, 685. I always like to remind my boss, I joined right about here. And something really happened after, I don't know what that was, but he's like, no, I set you up for success. I'm like, all right. But you can see the last 2 years have been great for us. 1,200 sales last year. Our fiscal year runs from October to September, so we're actually in the final 2 months of our fiscal year. We're going to sell 1,500 homes this year, which is great, but what's really is exciting is that we had the privilege, and I do mean the privilege, of paying a co-broke on 82% of those 1,500 sales. 82% of our sales come from realtors. When I say you're the lifeblood, I am not exaggerating. We could not do this without you, so thank you so much. That's why I want to be out here. We have great salespeople like Ellie who'll take care of you, but I also want you to know that if you ever need to get a hold of me, I'm available. Our job is to remove hurdles, and let's see if we can do business together and create win-win situations. We sell a home, you sell a home, and your customer gets a great home as well. So we want to create that triple win. We sell under our 4 brands, so if you're not familiar with the 4 brands, a lot of the growth, and I shared those numbers, has been the Express brand. I think the challenge we have in this marketplace right now is affordability. We've all seen over the last 2, we should have bought an investment property 3 years ago because we've seen incredible price appreciation. I can tell you that the land deals that we're working on today, the projects that are going to be coming online in about 12 to 18 months, our cost for a developed lot is at least 10 to 15% higher than the projects we're selling in today. And those costs ultimately end up in the sales price. So I don't see prices getting any less than where they are today. So what we've done with our Express brand of homes is try to create a brand where affordability is the #1 item, getting to a price and a payment that makes sense for a lot of buyers. We have 11 different plans. They look and feel great. They go anywhere from 1,400 square feet up to 2,800 square feet, master up, master down. But we do everything we can to keep the price and payment as low as we possibly can. So when you have that buyer where affordability is an issue, and oh, by the way, in our Express, the washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds are always included. So those are costs that they don't have to come out of their pocket for. They don't go to the Home Depot and buy all those things about a month before they close, and then when we try to close, there's some issues in terms of getting approved for a mortgage at the very end, right? So we include those things. The D.R. Horton's going to be our move-up brand. More bells and whistles, more optionality. With bells and whistles and optionality come higher price points, but we have buyers who can do that. Emerald is our luxury brand. We build exclusively in South Tampa right now with the Emerald brand. We've got some things coming in 2018, more traditional communities. And then Freedom. A lot of people aren't familiar with Freedom yet. Freedom Homes is our age targeted. We're going to have, I think, 1 age restricted community, but basically be age targeted, 55 plus, 5 different floor plans. They're all, 4 different floor plans. They're all 1 story, basically going from about 1,500 square feet to 2,000 square feet. All the communities will have some sort of amenity to go with it, some sort of lifestyle component. But we want to do with Freedom what we did with Express. We want to bring affordable active adult to the Florida market. There's a couple builders out there doing active adult, age targeted. I think of Del Webb right away, Taylor Morrison with their Esplanade. Great companies, but those monthly HOAs and CDDs, they can be $350, $400 a month. And we get a lot of people coming from New York, Pennsylvania, wherever, Michigan, and they're like, I want the sunshine, but I need affordability as well. So we're going to bring affordability to the active adult market with those 4 brands. If you go on our website, drhorton.com, and type in Tampa, this map will pop up, and this actually, I show you all 3 maps. Here's the Tampa map, here's Sarasota, Bradenton, we're actually up in Marion County as well. But drhorton.com, type in Tampa, all of our communities pop up. You'll find all of the information you need at drhorton.com, all right? And just real quickly at a high level, I want to talk about a few things. For the people who are in Pinellas, we have 2 communities, and it's hard to find new construction. Colonnade is one of our townhome communities. We opened this up. We're down to about our last 40 sales or so. When we opened up, we had about 150, but these are townhomes. They start in the low 300s. You're literally 5 minutes from downtown St. Pete. It's right there off of 4th Street. And Stonebrook Crossing, which is in Pinellas Park, single-family construction from the high 200s, which is very difficult to find. No CDD in either community. So we have new construction, and we have inventory in both places. For the people who are in the Riverview corridor, we've got some great communities here as well. I would tell you Cypress Creek has done exceptionally well for us, and you can see why. The price point. We start at $179,900 for a single family home. Again, no CDD, which is, it's just hard to find, right? So, and we've got inventory there. We've got some great communities. I'm not going to talk about them all. I don't want to capitalize too much time. But then for the people up in the Wesley Chapel area, we've got some great communities as well. And here's where I'd like to introduce Ellie. And if you could, just at a high level, maybe talk about Epperson and what we're offering out there.
Cool. Good morning, everyone. Like Scott said, we appreciate your business. We love our realtors and we love working with you.
Can you maybe hold this too?
We have a microphone.
Yeah, for the people online.
How many of you have been out to Epperson, the Crystal Lagoon? Have you heard about it?
I saw the house there.
Did you? Okay. What was your thoughts on it? Did you?
It's a big community. It's a lot going on.
Okay.
It's actually in the process to be being built. Between October to December is the closing.
Yeah,
It's very nice.
Whoever hasn't seen it needs to go online. I'll send you a video. They did an 8-acre lagoon. So basically what they did is they brought a beach to Wesley Chapel. It's amazing. There's different beach sections. There's slides for the kids. I mean, we know, my sales partner and I laugh, we no longer sell homes. We sell the lifestyle over there. So we've been super busy. We have 2 different product lines over there. We have our Express, which is getting a lot of the younger folks in there, the professionals that want a brand new home to be in that lifestyle. And we just launched our Freedom brand, our active adult carefree living. So definitely come on out. I mean, I wish we had the video to show you because, guys, it is mind-blowing. And it's not only the lagoon itself. They have these autonomous vehicles that'll take people around, driverless. Tesla makes them. There's a dog park. There's a Zen garden. So it's a huge community. Yeah, we've been super, super busy. Everyone just trying to kind of get in before the lagoon's done.
I would say, and I try not to overhype things.
Hype it.
But I'm going to hype this one. If you haven't been to Epperson, it's from where we are right now, it's probably, because it's up in Wesley Chapel, with traffic, maybe it's 40, 45 minutes. This is the biggest thing to happen in single-family community development, maybe ever. It's literally a 7-acre swimming pool, but it feels like you're going to be at the Caribbean. It's a complete game changer in some things that, this Metro is the developer, so in all the Metro communities, they have, essentially the community is going to be, the whole community is going to be Wi-Fi eligible. And it's just a complete, I guess, game changer is the way I describe it in terms of lifestyle. The community, from a pace perspective, we're selling a lot of homes. It is just really, really neat. And if you haven't been out there, you need to come check it out. Just so, nothing else, if you have a prospect, you can, talk intelligently about them and let them know and make them aware of it. There's 4 other builders out there. We're not the only builder, obviously, but it is a really neat place.
We are the most value price builder out there. With our Express product, we're under 300, the only builder out there for brand new, beautiful home, anywhere from 1,500 square feet up to 2,500. And then the other thing with that, I mean, this is the first in the US. There's one in Cabo, Mexico is the closest. So if any of you get to go out there, I went to see it. Mind-blowing. It honestly is. The dirt doesn't do it justice. Mind-blowing what's coming to Wesley Chapel. So we're super excited. I did bring collateral for it. I have both our Express and our Freedom brand. So if you guys have anyone, my sales partner's card is on here as well as mine. Feel free to give us a call.
Thank you, Ellie. Really appreciate it. So Ellie will take really great care of you. And then let me just wrap up this way, some coming soons. If for the people up north, we've got a new Freedom community. For the people who know Villages of Avalon, from where we are, it's not real that far a drive because you get on the Sun Coast. But we got our new Freedom community coming, the Villages of Avalon. So prices from the high 100s. Epperson Freedom, we just talked about, so our age targeted. South Shore Bay, Metro is going to do another Crystal Lagoon community, but this time it's going to be down in that Riverview corridor. So this is going to open up in about October. And I normally wouldn't put this on here, but since we're out here, we do have, I get asked, well, what about West Chase? What about West Chase? Well, it's hard to find dirt out here, right? We have a new community coming. It's a little ways away, May of 18, so we'll probably start selling, March, April, but we have about 150 home sites at the intersection of Sheldon and Linebaugh. So that's going to be coming in the very near future as well. So we've got yeah, well, there's not that many corners, right?
Yeah, there's only 4.
Yeah,
11 looks like
we have it under contract. This is a sneak peek. Yeah. This is a done deal for us. So we're really excited. This is a big deal for us. So we have a lot coming there. Last couple slides and we'll wrap this up. We're in a market now, obviously, where sometimes it's hard to find inventory. Remember, with new home builders, we have inventory for you. In all of our communities that I mentioned, our goal is to have at least 8 to 10 on the ground. And as soon as we sell one, we start another one. So again, you go on our website, you can check it out, but we have the inventory for you. And we passed out, everybody should have one of these cards as well. I don't think that's on the, yeah, it's on this next slide. Does everybody have one of these cards? Because if you don't, either write this number down or it'll be here. Sometimes it's nice to talk to a live human being to help yourself out. So, you can always go on MLS to find homes, or you can call our online sales consultant and you can say, her name is going to be Paula. She basically works 24/7. You can say, Paula, hey, I have a client that's looking, they want to find a 2-story master up in the Wesley Chapel area, and they need to be under $250,000. And and they need something enclosed in the next 60 days. What do you got? So not only will Paula answer your question for you, but here's the big deal. She will register your clients for you over the phone. So if you come out with them, great. But if your clients go off on their own wandering and they go to that community or any of our communities, we're still going to pay the realtor. We want to make this super easy. We know you're busy, and like I said, sometimes we know how clients can be, and they go wandering and exploring without you. Call Paula. Just say, hey, these are my clients. This is their email address. This is their name. We'll get them in the system. We'll register them under you. So if they come to any of our communities, we'll still make sure you get paid. All right, and then last slide before we wrap this up, we do have our VIP bonus program. It's real simple. This is how it works. You sell one home, you'll be in the money. On your second sale, you get your base commission rate, which is the 3% of the final sales price, plus a $1,000 bonus. If you can sell 3 homes in the course of a year, on the third and fourth sale, you'd actually get the base commission rate plus a $1,500 bonus. And if you get to 5 sales, on the 5th sale, you now get an extra 1%. And by the way, we do gross sales, not even net. So if you have a cancellation, we'll still give you credit for that. So it's just 5 gross sales. On that 5th gross sale, you're getting an extra 1%. So now you're getting 4%. But what's really cool is this. Let's say it's October and you get that 5th sale. So anything you sell for the remainder of the year, you still get the extra 1%. Okay? But wait, there's more, all right? So now it's January 1 of 2018, and because you sold 5 in 2017, you're a VIP. So guess what happens for all of 2018? You get an extra 1%, 4% on every sale for all of 2018. Plus, you'll get an extra $1,000 in closing costs. We provide a $4,500 closing cost incentive if you use DHI. Your buyers will get $5,500, and it's just a little tool that you can say, hey, D.R. Horton's the America's #1 home builder. They got a big presence here in Tampa. There's maybe some things I can do for you that some other realtor might not be able to. So it's just a little thing for you. I don't normally talk that fast in my regular life, if you will, but I try to keep this under 12 minutes, and I went about 15. So any questions, anything else I can answer for you? Please.
If we have lots available, do you build on someone's lot?
We don't build on lots. That's a tricky business for our trade base. But the one thing I would tell you as realtors, and we've done 2 deals in the last year, if you've got anything that's probably over 7 acres, and you think might make sense for a community like ours, and it can be, because we'll do a community as small as 20 homes, 20, 25 homes, let me know about that. But in terms of build on your lot, we don't do that, but I always like to throw that out to the realtor community. Let me know, reach out to me, you can get a hold of Ellie, or you call that number and get my information, because sometimes we'll buy dirt, and we have 2 communities coming online later this year that were brought to us by realtors. Anything else, please?
Like an incentive package that's like similar in all your communities? Are they all different in each area?
It's going to be, with the Express, it's all the same. It's going to be the washer, dryer, refrigerator, blinds included in all the houses. And then essentially we have 4 different color packages to choose from. We have the white cabinets, you have the dark espresso, a couple in between, and there's the countertops and floors that go with them. So that's one of the things we do in Express to keep the price down as low as we can. But it's a little bit different on the Horton brand in terms of what goes on.
Incentives like closing cost credit to the buyer or upgrade credits.
Yeah, gotcha. We always offer $4,500 in closing cost incentive with the use of our DHI. And what I would tell you just from a price perspective, this is something I just believe in. We made the change. I like to put our best foot forward right from the get-go. There's some other builders who kind of play pricing games, and they'll mark them up here, and then they have these sales events where they're $50,000 off. I always feel bad for the person who didn't buy, at the sales event or didn't negotiate very well. And I don't know how you look that person in the eye. So we really try to put our best foot forward from a pricing perspective, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're selling a lot of homes is, here it is, and we're going to provide you true value right from the get-go. Anything else? Please.
Yeah, over in Hernando County, you have an express project that's going over in the Spring Hill area.
Yes, there's 2 of them actually.
Yeah, the salesperson told, this was in the, I can't remember the name of it, of the subdivision right now, but the salesperson told me and my client that the CDD would be paid off when they bought it. Is that par for all CDD projects or just that one?
I don't know what that salesperson, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what that salesperson is referring to. We've looked at some communities where do you pay off the CDD, but the reality is when you do that, all you're doing is, okay, it's gonna cost this amount of money to pay off the CDD, then we raise the price. So we haven't done that. That's something, quite frankly, we decided not to do. I know why, and there's...
I just found it kind of peculiar that he said that.
Yeah, that's. Oh wait, but whoa! Is this Sterling Hill by chance? That was done years and years ago. That one, that's the only one, and that was done years and years ago where they did pay off.
Specific to that.
It was just that one community, yes. I was thinking of Hernando Oaks and some of our newer communities. Sterling Hill, we've been in there for a long time. Yes. Sorry about that confusion. Anything else? Thank you so much for everything you do. We've got great communities. You got the number. If there's anything I can do to help you sell a home, let's do it together. Thank you so much, everybody.
Scott, you said you okay, like if we have land and then we can bring it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a place at the corner of Linebaugh and Sheldon. I've heard about it. Corners.
I've heard about it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Am I covered there?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We have
good.
witnesses.
Oh, we got a draw.
I'm going to pass these around as well. They're the lagoon
Oh, yeah,
map
we
and
got
then the site map.
We got the gift card. Did everybody put their business card in for the
Everybody
drawing?
business card in? Last time I did it.
I hope you like Starbucks.
There we go. All right. Second, third, fourth.
Sorry.
Personal space.
All right. Mix them up. We don't want the late people getting preference.
I'm gonna mix. Oh, there we go. Look at it. Now.
Holding out. He was holding out this one.
Oh, that could be. No, we'll
All right, Ellen, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. She's going down the middle.
This one.
And this is Esther?
Esther Reyes.
Reyes, Esther, where are you, Esther? There you are. Congratulations. There you go. You like Starbucks?
Love Starbucks. Beautiful. Hey, don't get Wonder Woman. Look at this. Look at this flash drive. He said he's never lost his Wonder Woman flash drive. I'm going to keep one.
I've lost 4 flowers. I keep losing these, and one of my salespeople gave me this and said, "You'll never lose this one. It's too embarrassing." And it's
Too good. You guys want this? Thank you.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do.
Perfect. I got my click. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I'm glad we could reunite you with the family reunion here, too. It's all right. Anything else we can do in the future, just let us know. And with second cousins, I'll make sure they're invited next time. All right. That's awesome. I love those kind of stories. Good deal. Didn't even take Facebook to do it, did it? We just took an actual eyeball-to-eyeball meeting. All right. See, isn't that awesome? Yeah, forget this Facebook stuff, right, Gunny? Yeah, I got your Facebook right here. All right. Okay. Good deal. Let's get off of this. All right, so we kind of do things a little bit back. Oh, first of all, very important day today. You guys had this day circle, right? Here's the other reason I canceled last week's meeting and made it today, right, the second Tuesday, is because it is somebody very important's birthday today. Maureen Rudkin's birthday. All right? Happy birthday to you. I'll take the mic off. Happy birthday, dear Maureen. Happy birthday to you. All right, who got the candle in the bagel? Let's get the candle in the bagel and say, awesome. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We want to ask somewhere north of 20, that's about it?
Just a little north.
Okay, there you go. That's all we need to know. Perfect. Good deal. All right. Maureen and I, Maureen was my closing coordinator back in the day when Future Home Realty was you. Future Home Realty. Here you're looking at them. Here we go. All right. Oh, was it 16? That's amazing. So she has looked at many a contract. So when she pushes back on you and says, hey, I still need the seller's disclosure and I still need the lead-based paint addendum, I wouldn't argue with her, all right? First of all, she's the one that releases your DA to begin with, so I wouldn't argue with her anyway, all right? Okay? And so, because we now have the rule in place that, and by the way, that's working out well for us. If you don't get paid through a DA, then if we get a physical check, now we're putting a 7-day, we've cut it down, I've checked with my bank, it's a 7-day, 5 business day hold on those, just to make sure those checks are clearing. In the past, we thought, oh, no problem, we're getting a title company check, and all of a sudden title company checks are bouncing and stop payments on us and all sorts of things. So if you bring us a physical check, we get it, we make sure it clears, then we'll release your money, even if your file's complete. So the better thing to do, as we discussed last time, is get your disbursement authorization. Now someone brought up, oh, now they get to bounce the check to me, Bob. Thanks a lot, right? Is what the agent says. However, knowing agents like I do, that check that you have, that you get from the title company, is delivered to you at 10:08 a.m. and by 10:22 a.m., you've already got it in your bank. All right, it's already in the process. I get it, right? So when it takes a week to get to us to begin with, then there's time for them to put stop payments on it and for them to pay their utility bill or whatever the title companies do instead of, you know, they call it kiting checks for a reason. That's why floating, right? Okay, so they're not only robbing Peter to pay Paul, but they're going through all the apostles. They're just, you know, they're robbing them all, all right? They're going right through everybody, all right? So they're knocking them down. So anyway, that being said, Maureen, speaking of DAs, anything you want to tell us about what's going on?
I'd like for you to address for the agent
Yes.
the difference between a lease referral and a lease commission.
Got it.
This is a daily battle.
Okay, so, you know, in leases, there are two things. There's usually compensation is offered two ways in the MLS, right? There's a referring agent and or a commission, okay? Basically, what you're looking at, the difference would be, one is I'm referring the client to Tom. He has a rental in the MLS. Hey, Tom, I got a potential tenant. All right, I'm going to hand over his name to you. You go with it. Let me know when it closes, and I'll take your $100 referral fee. Done. Referral acknowledgement. Hey, Tom, I'm referring this tenant to you. Here's the reason we need a referral acknowledgement. Oh, Bob, it's only $100. Why do they say it's just offered and it was just a referral? Let's go back many, probably 7 or 8 years ago. We got bit in the backside on a referral because our agent handed us a large commission check on a commercial deal, right? Said, oh, this is a referral. Okay, great. Okay, we didn't have a referral acknowledgement. Right? It was a referral, so we took it, oh, it's a referral, we don't need a file, it was a referral. It was offering, yeah, we're good, right? Perfect. Well, not so good, because then later on, 8 months down the road, the buyer, who was the cousin of the agent, our agent, sued our agent. Okay? Family, love family. Don't we love family? God bless family, right? Sued our agent for misrepresentation, and we're like, hey, where's the file? We don't have a file because we didn't need a file because it was a referral. Talk to Remax, right? They're the one that handled the deal. Oh, no. I looked down, sure enough, oh yeah, out pops a contract out of nowhere, all right, that has our name on it as representing the buyer. Thus, when you say, oh, it's just a referral, okay, well, prove it to me, okay, show me the paper. And that's one way. So that's what we need on a referral. 1 page, referral, I'm referring to Tom, a tenant, he's gonna pay a referral fee. If they're offering a 0 referral fee and you are getting a tenant rep, right, commission, you're getting a commission. Everybody understands the difference in a referral and a full commission. Full commission, now we need our package. We need our tenant rep package. We need a copy of the lease, we need a copy of the FHR disclosures to the tenant, all those things because we have exposure in the process. A referral is a lot easier. I'll get it. And if they're offering the same amount of money, okay, do the referral. All right? As long as you can maintain the relationship with the client, if that's what you want to do. Sometimes you're like, hey, I'm done with this client. I'll refer it on to you. All right? Have a great day, and I don't want to see them or their family or anybody they would ever refer to me anyway. Right? So you're good to go there. But does that make sense? Does everybody understand the difference between the two? Okay?
And your policy has been anything over $250 we need a referral agreement on.
Correct.
$50 referral, you've been letting them go, but anything over $250 we must have it in writing.
That's correct. And then the reason being, at the end of the day, I can defend, hey, look, it wasn't a commission. If I made $200, all right, you know, on these deals, we're fine. So, and Maureen is right. If it's below $250, you're good. If it's above $250, that's when we need it. So, you'll see the holds there. Anything else? Other than I know we're preaching to the choir, continue to get us. We talked about this a little bit last week, all right? That just like D.R. Horton, right, in their express communities, why you've got 4 color packages to choose from, right? It's because their pricing allows them to, back in the day, all right, I didn't bring it up to him, but Lennar had everything's included, right? They still do, all right? And so they, you got, okay, do you want the white package or the gray package? And the reason is because they can buy in bulk and they can pass those savings on to the client, and that you get what you get, right? Yeah, but I want a Viking refrigerator. Well, guess what? You're buying a $168,000 home, all right? You're getting GE, all right? Okay, whether you like it or not. So you want a Viking? Sell your GE and buy yourself a Viking, right? So, we're all good there. That being said, same thing with us. People ask us all the time how we can do what we do for $35 a month and $250 a deal, right? And the answer is systems, right? Clearly defined checklists, not varying and getting real creative in how we do business, right? We don't mind creativity in your business, but we aren't going to get real creative in the paperwork we require, right? Or I'm going to waive this, or hey, you know what? I'll get that file in to you when I can, because the fact that I can do it for $250 means ideally my file compliance people are touching it once, right? If they have to keep going back, or here's piecemeal, oh yeah, oh you need this, and all this dialogue, all right, as much as Maureen is great and it's her birthday and everybody else, and all the other ladies in the compliance department, they are paid by the hour, right? Which cuts into my profitability immensely if we're having to touch a file 8 times to say, hey, you know what, I'm emailing, I still need, oh, that's not the right one, you know what I mean? And so it's kind of a team effort. I'm not, and for the most part, again, everybody should put their robes on right now because I know I'm preaching to the choir. All right? Okay? Because I'm looking around the room and the majority of the people here are not our issues, right? So that's good. But if you are out and about and you spread the word to our other agents that, hey, look, the reason he can do it the way he can is because we all have to kind of buy in a little bit. Does it make sense? All right, so.
I would say the one other issue that we have that when you guys communicate with us, the best way to communicate, guys, is to go into the transaction. There's a section in the middle that says no email, and send a note and click on contract admin, okay? If we send you a message and you reply to it, you're replying to that particular admin. Our admins don't work set hours. They're not online 24/7 anticipating your email. So it might be 3-4 days before they go back and re-review your email. And then in the meantime, your closing happened and you needed your DA fixed. So please don't reply to our emails. Go into the transaction and blog inside there and be sure to click contract admin. So it goes into what happens when you send that email. It goes into a contract admin Gmail account, and whoever's working, and it might be all of us, it might be one, but is being touched, okay? And also when you send a note inside, there's a subject line. If it's urgent, if it's time sensitive, DA needs revised, ! Help, something. If it's just, your closing's in 3 or 4 weeks, just put missing docs uploaded.
Maureen's children are in Madison and Trent, all right? If you really want it, Trent's in trouble, all right? Start with that, all right, and it'll get read, okay?
Because
so it's good.
When we're looking in this inbox, we're trying
Trent
to
got arrested.
Exactly.
See?
You heard the story.
Oh, see, look at that. I just know Trent, all right? I've known Trent for years, so.
We look at the subjects so that we look to see, okay, what fire can we put out first? So just think about that as we're looking at hundreds and hundreds of emails. What can I do to get their attention? Go in, blog inside, and you've got to click on contract admin or listing admin. If you forget, the note doesn't go anywhere. So.
And is that on your training?
It's on my training, and we've been preaching it for over a year now.
Yeah.
We still get people that reply, and they will get answered, but it might not be for a day. What if you do it on a Thursday and somebody's not working again until Monday, and your closing already took place?
Right. Perfect.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Good. And that's on FHR University, by the way. There's a paperless pipeline training you can attend.
Don't get attached to one admin. Don't be like, oh, I can only talk to Maureen. I can only talk to Pat. we're all good.
That's right, exactly. See?
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
it's a breath of fresh air from where I came to dealing with you guys. I just
Awesome.
gotta say that.
That's great. That's great. And anytime you get pushback, by the way, all right, if you got a problem with a form that they're asking for you to give them, all right, you need to call me because they're going under my directive, right? Why do we need this paperwork? Why do I need the seller's disclosure signed? It's an REO, right? And the REO has already said, you know, no disclosures are coming. It said it 15 times. Well, guess what? Here comes 16. All right? I want ours, blank one signed, seller refused to complete, our buyer signs it, and so on and so forth. That's my rule. And if you want to discuss it at length, we can talk about it, but don't shoot the messenger is what I'm telling you. Okay?
When their cousin sues them?
Yeah, right, exactly. When your cousin sues you, all right, you'll be happy I required those documents. He is exactly correct. So, good point. All right, good deal. Let's get to our vendors real quick, and then we can continue moving on. Jerry, how are you, man?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. What do you got for us?
One thing that rings true with regards to what Bob and Maureen were talking about is that when we do business with Future Home Realty, and we do a lot of referral business with Future Home Realty, in order for us to pay you for that lease or that property management referral, you still have to provide us with the Future Home Realty referral document so that we can not only sign off on it, but when we ultimately cut a check that we give to Maureen, we give her that referral document. Because without that referral document, she doesn't want the check, believe it or not, because she has to have, to Bob's point, she has to have proof. And since most of our referral fees are greater than $250, that's another reason why you have to do it. So save yourself time and create the document so that you email it to me, I can sign it, I send it back to you, and then I have my original copy, if you will, in the office so that when we cut the check, I provide it back to Maureen. Now, some of you may know that we have been working with a builder who is a very energy efficient green builder who is part of the whole renovation process that's going on in Tampa Heights. And along with that process of Tampa Heights, if you haven't been there, you need to take a drive through there because there's a lot of things going on relative to ultimately making this another Hyde Park. And this particular builder and us, Gulfview Realty Property Management, we've been building momentum, so much so that over the last 8 to 10 months, we have been building a relationship with the University of Tampa. And we met with the University of Tampa again last week, and we have a parcel now. Ultimately, this parcel, I believe, came to us from a Future Home Realtor. As a matter of fact, it was Ken's wife who brought us that piece of property, and Susan, and subsequently that piece of property is about to embark on 11 new duplexes, stacked and or side by side, that are going to be built for the University of Tampa community. So that is part of an overall effort to continue to build properties in close proximity to University of Tampa that are within a scooter or a bicycle ride, because they have a significant housing shortage with the University of Tampa. You wouldn't think it when they're charging and paying the high amount of money it is to go to the University of Tampa.
Right, but supply and demand,
but
so therefore that's why it's so high.
Right.
You want to live on campus, all right? Can you walk there in a toga is what I want to know, all right?
You can walk there in a toga.
Okay, good. That's all the distance, that's good. That's
Right,
the distance for a
But for that matter, what I guess I'm also saying to you is because we've become the exclusive property and lease management company for this project, whenever, if not just University of Tampa students, but if you have a customer who's interested, because we have now, I think, 6 duplexes that we are managing down in that area. And we have also been filling them, aside from University of Tampa students, we've been filling them with professional people, believe it or not, attorneys, accountants, et cetera, who know the value of what's happening down there, and they want to live in that community. And it's also a stone's throw away from a restaurant called Eulali's. So it's very, very nice. So if you have clients or someone who is looking to rent or even buy a green property like that as an investment property, i.e. renting out both sides or renting out one side or the other, these are really quality properties. So come see us. We'll put you in touch with Joe Gibbons, and you guys can have some conversation. And ultimately, if your customer wants property or lease management, we'll fill in the blanks there also. Jerry Papa, Gulfview Realty Property Management. We have rack cards if you have any questions. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thanks, Jerry. Very good. That's good. It's good to know. All right, we'll come back to David. Brian, what's happening, man?
Everything's great with me.
Good. Good to see you.
Got back from vacation, so
Very good.
recharge batteries and all that
Absolutely.
good stuff.
See?
So, real quick today, just to remind you that we are the warranty company that actually covers things. We cover all the kitchen appliances, washer and dryer, kitchen refrigerator, in our standard plan. We also cover all the R22 Freon in the old AC units. And we also replace AC units under the Florida mandate, which means we're going to pay for both components. We're not going to make your homeowner pay for the other component. And just a reminder, R22, believe it or not, goes away in 2020. So if you're selling any house that has an R22 AC unit, I would make sure that you get an AC guy to look at it and make sure it's running good, because it's not a matter of if it's going to be replaced, it's going to be a matter of when.
Perfect.
There you go.
You
Thanks.
have to get the new system, obviously, because there's no Freon to put in.
Right.
All right, perfect. Good deal.
Hi,
Hey,
good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good morning, Shannon with American Bankshares Mortgage. Something I want to share with you is there's a new Fannie Mae product called One Day Certainty, which is cutting down the time to process files by 10 days, which is huge in the industry. And our branch, Francine Vila has been here to do presentations in Madison. Barber has been our test pilot for our company, and we're now actually closing them. So it's a very simple process. We're actually collecting docs on the back end. The consumer's not giving us the documents. So Fannie Mae's integrated with the Work Number, which is pulling pay stubs, which is pulling bank statements from the big banks, and we're really excited to have it.
So the client doesn't have to provide.
Right.
Right.
Now, the
Which is kind of
employer-
scary, by the way. All right. But that's all right. All right. And the NSA,
Well, it's
I mean,
going back.
guess what? All right. If you ever lose your phone and you've lost your numbers, contact the government. They can replace it for you. All right.
Well, it's
That's
kind
right.
of going back to the old processing.
Right.
Think about it. 20 years ago, we didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
20 years ago, we would never take documents from clients because
Right, it's
people
true.
could falsify them. So it's kind of going back.
Yeah, makes sense.
But
I mean,
it's
I
a
can
lot
see
more
that. Yeah,
convenient. Yep.
that's cool. Awesome. So 10 days less.
10
Well, it's because you're not having to
Right. We
you
don't
know,
have to wait on them.
arm twist a
Nor
client.
does our
You think you wouldn't have to anyway, by the way. Hello, you want a loan? Give me your stuff. But
But then our processor doesn't have to go back and re-verify.
very good.
So, yeah.
Are your processors bonded, by the way, that they're going to have access to my bank statements?
Are they bonded?
I mean, how do I know that they don't? Next thing you know, they're
You
living in
have to
Tahiti.
agree to it.
Okay, very
You
good.
have to agree to. No,
Yeah.
there's disclosures.
All right.
Okay, the
Very good.
client has to sign off that they're giving us permission.
Call me hypersensitive, but I'm hypersensitive. But that's okay. I think you know what.
We can talk later.
All right, very good. I like secure email distribution of those such things. That's awesome, though. Great deal.
Okay.
All right, and thanks
Thank
for
you
coming.
for having us.
Perfect. Absolutely. What's that?
Probably.
Okay. I was asking if that was going to become an industry.
Well, it sounds like a Fannie. It's a Fannie product, so it's a Fannie product, then it's a Fannie product.
Offering it now, but it's going to become.
Not
offered-
too many local lenders are doing it.
I see.
Yeah, probably have to be approved by Fannie. You have to have bonded processors. So, David, you want to come on up? All right, so we always save David for last because he's our resident attorney. All right, so we can throw stuff at him. And take care of it that way. All right. David owns American Patriot Title. All right. And by the way, if you ever get a chance, interview David sometime about the story behind American Patriot Title. It's a great story about his father and the way he served and everything else. So David's a huge resource for us. He's become critical. If you guys call me and say, hey, look, do we have an attorney on staff? No, we don't. All right. But he's the guy that I'm going to tell you to call. All right. Now, a lot of times, and I'll let him discuss his stuff with you individually. All right. Quick 5-10 minute call. You know, that's between you and him. If it gets further than that, all right, then that's where you need to talk about billable hours and so on and so forth. But always extremely fair. Plus, if anybody is knowledgeable in real estate, here's your guy. Owns a title company. All right. Knows that inside and out. Has represented hundreds of people. Right. In front of FHR, all right, defending them when they've had claims against them as agents and or mortgage people, all right, loan officers and so on and so forth. So he's not intimidated by that. So an extremely knowledgeable guy. And that being said, what do you got for us today?
Well, let me just share a little bit about one of the things that I do that I haven't really talked about a whole lot. I'll be very brief about this, is administrative law, where there is the Florida Real Estate Commission, DBPR Division of Real Estate comes after your license. Somebody files a complaint, not saying you owe me money, but hey, you did something wrong and we're going to discipline your license, either suspend your license, revoke your license, or impose a fine. I've been involved in probably 250, 300 cases over the years. Many, many years ago, the files would be sent to our office for prosecution, so that's how I got involved in it. Recently had a case involving a mortgage broker, so represent professional engineers, CPAs, dentists, veterinarians. Anytime a state sends a complaint saying, hey, you have done something wrong, we intend to discipline, we're investigating, or we filed an administrative complaint against you and we want to discipline your license. That's something that I do. So reflecting upon that, the issue for the day is teams. All right, everybody's really keen on, I'm going to form a team, this is going to be great. I want you to know that there is a way that you can stumble during this process. There's absolutely there's one of those concepts that kind of grew over the years, and as Tom can tell you, there's no specific regulation or statute within Chapter 475 on the concept of teams. Really the only, there are very few that reflect on it, but the most prominent one, and the one that's most aggravating to the commissioners on the Florida, at FHR, is that a lot of times people get carried away and they think, okay, we got this team concept, we're branding the team, and man, this Bob McDougall guy at Future Home, I know he's my broker, but why do we need to mention him? The one thing that just we know will send you right to a complaint and right to being disciplined is, the one concept that rings true in all this is that in any kind of communication that you have to identify, who you are and the brokerage for which and under which you're operating, who you associated with. So the idea is about, hey, this is the team branding, and your advertising people come up with these great concepts, and then you talk about or think that, well, how about Future Home? Where does this? And then of course the person is in advertising. They're all about building your brand, and they say, well, here's the layout, and there's nothing there referencing Future Home. And earlier in the presentation, he talked about being hypersensitive. Here's a man trying to explain to people that he's a sensitive guy. But right. let me explain that whatever you might think of FHR, and if you don't put a reference to the brokerage, Future Home Realty, if that's not a part of this communication and this team branding, then you think, well, nobody's going to report that. But I tell you what, I've had so many cases where there was issue A, there was a complaint filed referencing issue A. Issue A, the investigator looked at issue A and said, there's nothing there. We're gonna move on. But sniffing around, they see all these communications branding this team, and there's no reference to the brokerage, or it's in micro fine print. That is going to get you a complaint, and you are going to be subjected to discipline. Now, having said all that,
well, and then let me add to that. I'm going to talk in a little bit about where I was last.
Speaking of the mic,
they can hear me.
Go
ahead. Last month, it's coming, right? People ask me all the time, hey Bob, can you approve this marketing for my team? And right now I'm good. I have no problem with all you, little me. All right, and it's not my rule, but it's coming that FHR has had enough complaints that teams especially, all right, but agents in general, right, coming across and labeling themselves as the, Johnson Team Realty, all right, with Keller Williams, right? And so the client has a complaint. They go look up Johnson Team Realty and they can't find them anywhere. There's no incorporating docs, so on and so forth. So FHR is getting tired of that. And so there is going to be a change. I can 98% guarantee that Chapter 475 is going to be amended, right? And it's coming where it's they making the rule, not the brokerage, right? But they making the rule. Now, what we're trying to do is make it so, hey, look, let's go halfway. Let's meet you halfway. Because at one point they want to say brokerage phone number has to be on the sign, has to be the most prominent phone number, and that would be an ever-loving nightmare for us, right? we want you to get your calls, right, and so on and so forth. So we don't want to fight this so much that they say, okay, we're going to go way overboard, right? But what they're coming with is that equal font, right? It has to be clearly defined that the brokerage of which you are licensed, all right, has to be at least, and you cannot imply that you are a real estate company, all right, as a team, all right, and so on and so forth. That's why we're encouraging our agents right now, if they're going to spend a lot of money on marketing, to take a look at this and be very careful and consider going Team Johnson with Ryan, the SAC team, Ryan and Leanne Sack. I think they have theirs is Team SAC powered by Future Home Realty or something. That's a very hip term right now, powered by. It's kind of that, you know, we're, you know, the monolith and they're just this little subsidiary of, right? Okay, and so whatever. Okay, but they've test marketed this kind of stuff. But all that being said, it has to be clear which brokerage you're with, because if not, I get it. Matter of fact, I just had to fill out a survey that came down to the top 50 brokers, said, can you give us an idea, because we're presenting in front of FREC, this is coming from the Florida Realtors Legal Division, we're presenting in front of FREC the economic impact of teams having to re-establish all their marketing based upon this ruling that is coming. All right, so can you give me an idea of how many teams you have and how much each month or how much each year that they probably spend on signage and all this kind of stuff that would have to be, you know, amended if we pass this law. And so that is evidence to me that it's making progress.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they've actually had workshops on this, and the problem that you have at this point representing somebody with a complaint as far as a team is that there are no rules. The rules are what the Florida Real Estate Commission says they are, and a lot of them have a lot of heartburn, and they've heard about things, and so it's just something to be very careful about. But there is, whether they do it by regulation or statute, they're going to come out with something, and I will let you know that we'll make a presentation on that. So there's some clarity as far as what the new requirements are.
And it won't be overnight. It won't be like, okay, the regulation or the law change, whichever it be, right? And now, starting tomorrow, your signs better be correct or we'll start fining you, right? They're going to give like a year to ease out of this and so on and so forth. But it's still something, if you're planning on doing, setting up all these logos and all that, paying a marketing specialist to do all this for you, just bear that in mind. And that's been my mantra for the last year to any agent who's reached out to me saying, hey, what do you think about this? I say, hey, look, I'm good with it. Just be aware that this change is probably coming. Mm-hmm. So.
Yes.
Cool?
I agree.
I love it when attorneys agree with me.
There you go.
Okay? Absolutely. I just don't agree with actually, you know what, your billing's been very fair.
Well, yeah, what can exactly. I say? So, what can I say?
American Patriot Title. I love attorney-owned real title companies. I really do. Okay? They can pull your backside out of the fire because they have an incentive to do so, all right, to make sure this thing closes. And sometimes it takes a nice little letter with, somebody sign it that has ESQ behind their name, right? You talk about saying Trent got arrested to get somebody's attention. Send me a letter that says ESQ signed, right? Okay, and it's Esquire, and we all know they can, just be Esquire, but if they're Esquire, that means I've got to hire somebody and they're free, right? Okay, or somebody's already hired them. It's usually their cousin, right? Yeah. That's, hey, look, I've got a free attorney, so I'm going to come after you, and I hope you settle. So just bear that in mind. So it's great to have that skin. David has pulled our agents out of the fire. Hey, look, you know what? Let me just put a quick call into the other side and see what they say. And next thing you know, the cancellations that they were refusing to sign all of a sudden is there, right? So it's beneficial to have that part of your team as you're building a team of mortgage people and property management people and home warranty people and title people, all that. It's important to have that as part of your team. Fair enough? Cool. Thank you, David.
I do appreciate it.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
A lot of responsibility.
There is a lot of responsibility holding the mic. That's right. Exactly. So we didn't have an agent come just because I wanted to cover a few things. Well, usually at this point when we bring on one of our top agents. Yeah, Jared.
Can I say one more thing?
You may.
Many of you know that I'm a member of the Property Lease Management Council of PRO, and we put on 4 to 5 educational events at PRO a year. Our third one is coming up in September, and the reason I mentioned this to you is this one is directed specifically towards brokers and also sales professionals who engage in lease or property management. And we have Freck coming to be the primary spokespeople for this presentation at Pro.
When is that?
I believe it's September the 6th. If I'm wrong on the date, check the Pro educational calendar or send me an email and I'll send you the correct date. But this seminar is specifically set up so that people, not just the real estate professionals, but the brokers understand the liabilities and whatnot that are associated with doing lease and property management if in fact, one, the broker is not engaged in that service, and or number two, the broker is not aware of what you're doing, and number three, if you're not aware of what you're doing, to make sure that you're doing it legally before your broker potentially loses his or her license or their brokerage. So we've thought long and hard about putting this together, and this is probably going to be a sellout presentation. So if anybody has an interest, please make a reservation to come, and I believe it's free, or it's $5.
Okay, cool, awesome, pro calendar. All right, awesome, and we'll try and put that, I feel this month I've got to get caught up a little bit, but last month we had a lot of stuff from, you know what, your associations, I say this many months when we're in front of each other, the associations, for all our whining, I'll use that term, all right, and complaining, about dues and so on and so forth, all right? They do a lot. If you look at their educational calendars, there is a lot that is offered, right? Now, we don't even look at ever think about the board until the bill comes. I get it, all right? However, we're glad we have the Tom Scaglionis of the world that are knee-deep into this thing, all right? Helping us, making sure that they're providing things of value.
Actually, tonight,
Tech user group. Yeah.
7:30, Tech User Group. The topic is mobile realty.
Everything from iPads, e-sign, all
Everything.
that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
That kind of stuff right there. All right, and that's at
And we'll show them different apps that they can use for their mobile real estate. We'll talk about things like SavvyCard. We'll talk about things like private websites for your listings. We'll show you how to do it right from Matrix instead of having to pay somebody to do it.
single property websites. See, all that stuff, it's important, right? Oh, how do we compete with the big boys? Well, guess what? Okay?
Yeah,
It's called
5:30 to 7:30.
www for a reason. It's
And
the
we
World
serve
Wide
pizza
Web.
and soft drinks.
Pizza and soft drinks, I'm in. Holy. It's at Greater Tampa
At
Realtors.
Greater Tampa Realtors, yeah.
Awesome. And can non-GTAR getter members
they can.
attend? Okay, all right. Because you know Tom. If you walk in the door, just say, I know Tom. All right?
We've done it before.
Okay, perfect.
So, yeah.
All right, awesome.
And then in September is a one-day tech expo. It was supposed to be the 22nd, but I think it's been changed to the next Friday. But I'll bring it, or I'll let Jim put it out.
Yep.
Those are going to be classes on form simplicity, transaction desk, IMAP, RPR, both, desktop and mobile RPR.
RPR, guys, go to the RPR class.
Cloud CMA, and we're going to have an Appy Hour, which
Happy hour.
there'll be somebody there that's an expert in iOS, and there'll be somebody that is an expert in Android systems to answer questions and so forth, and give advice on upgrading to different technology or whatever your case may be, and so forth. So keep an eye out for the e-connection. I know that those of you that are pro don't get that, but I usually get it to Jim to spread.
Perfect. Awesome. Thus more about the fact that...
And if you register, you get a free lunch.
Look at that. See? There's all sorts of food flying around those places. Jiminy Christmas, okay? All I can say is this, is that here's what I know. And you, by the way, 100Ks start tomorrow, right? We are launching our next sessions. They're 8 weeks long. Here's what we're doing with 100K this time, just so you're aware. The first session, which is tomorrow's, right? In Tampa Bay, we have, they're exact same, so you don't need to come to both unless you're a slow learner. You can come to both, all right? You're more than welcome to, all right? But we're going to have one in the morning at 9:30 a.m., Hampton Inn, Clearwater, Olmsted Road, right next to, close to Pro. down the road right across from the airport. All right, 9:30 to 11. Tomorrow night, Hampton Inn, Oldsmar. All right, right here, 7 p.m., 7 to 8:30. All right, these are our launches. And our launch, we just, again, if you've been to 100K before, you may not even want to come to the launch because guess what? It's not changed. You know why? Because success principles don't change. All right? Again, if I were back in the day and I was wearing a toga, all right, and was speaking to the National Convention of Chariot Salesmen, all right, I bet you I would probably teach them the same principles I'm going to teach tomorrow. All right? Because, or I would have learned it from them back in the day. Because it doesn't matter. Because as much as we want an happy hour, right? The actual sales process is, hey Tom, Bob McDougall, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Eyeball to eyeball, handshake to handshake, meatball to meatball sometimes if we're breaking bread together. All right? That kind of stuff is what is going to get you business. Right? Now, can we do it easier with appies? Yeah, absolutely. Should we know how to do that stuff? Because we run across somebody that says, well, meet you where to sign what? How about you send it to me, dude, and let me just sign it on my phone? And you're like, okay. Right? You better have that ready to go. But you also need to be ready to go to say, hey, look, you know what? I really would like you to come to my kitchen table and sit down and let's go over this contract before I sign something that's going to obligate me for $380,000 of a contract. Okay, sometimes, and by the way, the book we're going to read, the first book we read in 100K is 7 Levels of Communication, and the guy in the story loses a sale because he just sent the first-time home buyer an e-signature, hey, sign this, we're ready to go, never got it back. They got cold feet and said, you know what, we, talked to my dad, right? And my dad said, shouldn't just, if you're working with a realtor who's not going to sit down and explain the contract to you, then you need to find another realtor. And there is a valid logic in that, right? So we need to have that strike that fine balance, right? Between, hey, look, let's be convenient, but let's not be so convenient that we aren't doing our duty, right? And so we cover all this in 100K. So the cool thing about 100K is we're going to teach you success principles, and it's upside down and backward than what you've ever been taught if you've ever been to a seminar. First of all, if you're looking for a bagel and a donut, you better fill up now, all right? Because come 100K, all right, we're all about eating healthy, living our life well, doing the right things, living a good, healthy lifestyle, all right? So if you want carbs, load up and stick them in your pockets on the way out the door, because tomorrow you're getting mandarin oranges, bananas, apples, and nuts. Low sodium nuts to get that, all right? Okay? All right, that's all we, are doing there. Because we want to, that's part of what we teach, all right, is that if we're going to attract business and not have to chase it, then we want to be attractive, right? And part of that's physical attraction, it's mental attraction, it's spiritual attraction, it's emotional attraction, it's financial attraction. If you're needy and you have commission breath, you know what I'm talking about? All right? Clients can smell that a mile away. They're like, dude, stay away. Right? Okay, we all run across those type of salespeople before, right? Yeah. We don't want to be, and guess what? I get it, man. If you need this guy to sign this contract so you can pay your mortgage next month, I understand the need. How about if we just get so busy and learn to do things the right way that we're going to live financially peaceful? Yes. All right? / Google Dave Ramsey, right? Yeah. And go live in that manner that you can live your life in such a way that I don't have to worry about where the next one's coming from. And I'm going to actually consult this person correctly because I'm not worried about making my car payment. Right? I'm just telling you, we cover all of that. So if you haven't been to 100K, if it's been a while before you've been to 100K, you need to come again. Right? We're going to cover all this. It's a lifestyle change, right? So that's what part of 100K is. So what we're going to do is that we usually skip a week. So what we're going to do is the first 2 sessions are going to be live, and so I do 2 in Tampa tomorrow, doing 1 in Orlando on Thursday, and 1 in Jacksonville on Friday. Jacksonville, are they logged in, by the way?
Yes, they are.
Okay, awesome. Hey, Jacksonville. All right, Jacksonville's attending a simulcast to this meeting in the Jacksonville office. All right, everybody say hi to the Jacksonville office. Hey, all right, good deal. All right, okay. That being said, that's on Friday. 2 weeks from now, we're going to do that same series again, all right, for the second session. And then after that, though, to keep my sanity alive and keep me from having to drive all over Kingdom Come and everything else, all right, we're going to do one session. I'll be roaming around. I'll do it live at 9:30 on a Wednesday. Clearwater one week, Orlando the next week, Jacksonville the next week, and we're going to live cast, Facebook Live it to everybody else. So my vision is you won't have to drive down from Wesley Chapel or wherever you're coming from, or Newport Richie. You can just go hang out at the office there, meet at the Starbucks for all I care with a group of agents. We're going to still encourage you to do it in smaller groups. It's kind of taking the Cross Point Church concept, all right, where there's one guy, Andy Stanley's preaching in Atlanta, and people in Spokane, Washington, all right, are following along, right? And so that's the whole idea, is that we can do that and go that direction. Yet still have the group dynamic, because it's imperative. You're going to learn in 100K how imperative the group dynamic is. Cool? All right? If you haven't checked it out, I'm just telling you, if you're at a crossroads, all right, where, hey, look, man, something's not working for me in this business, something's not going right, I feel like I'm too salesy, or I have to be salesy to be in this business, guess what? It's going to be so refreshing when you come in. Speaking of that, I think we have room for about 35 seats in each spot, all right, and we've got about 90 people registered, all right? So that's okay, because people register and don't come, all right? Whenever you do something for free, it's easy for them not to show up, all right? That's okay. Those who are supposed to be there will be there, all right? That's all okay. And then once I start laying out what's going to happen in 100K, all right, we start losing people like that. It's like, whoa, we got to work? Yeah. Well, it's yeah, I thought you were just going to all sign. I thought we were going Redfin. All right? We're all going employees, and you were going to sign us up, and we were going to be $100,000 a year salaried employees. Well, guess what? This is not Redfin. All right? Speaking of which, we'll cover that in a second as well. All right? Because Patty had brought that up. And we'll cover stuff like Redfin. And how do we compete with, how in the world Zillow's stealing our business, instant offers, all that. You know what? If you're focused on instant offers killing your business, guess what's going to happen? It's going to kill your business. Mm-hmm. Right?
They don't mean anything to anybody.
Exactly. What has to happen is you need to go. We had a great agent that came into our Orlando office meeting last time. We had our first official Orlando live meeting. All right, we don't simulcast them. We're big enough there that we're doing live meetings in Orlando now. Thursday at 11 o'clock, by the way, is our next one. That being said, she came in and said, you know what, when I go to do a CMA for somebody, I bring everything. Right? It was awesome. She brings, I'm going to bring a CMA, RPR, I'm going to bring, stuff from a public records office, I'm going to bring a Z estimate, I'm going to bring whatever, I'm going to bring it all. Right? So here's what it is, man. I know you're looking at it. Let's just bury our head in the sand and pretend like they're not checking out Redfin's new app. They just raised $1.2 billion in their IPO. Right? So how do I compete with that? You don't. Right? Unless you're going to raise 1.3. All right? And good luck with that. I go for it. I'd love, you know what? Well, I'm all in. All right? But here's the way you compete with it, is that you go get them before their client even has a chance to even go visit their site. And you talk about, hey, you know what? There's Zillow, there's Trulia, there's Realtor.com, there's Redfin now. Check them all out. Compare to see how the difference. You're going to see it varying. Everybody varies a difference. You know what? I know the market locally. So who better to trust than me? Right? You go win because you went eyeball to eyeball with them, shook their hand, you pressed flesh, right? That's how you win against these things. You're not going to outspin Zillow, right? By the way,
they're actually not your competition.
They're not your competition, and Zillow lost $228 million last year, and that was a big deal for them because they were projected to lose $280 million. And they thought, oh boy, our investors are happy.
See, I've been in this for a long time, okay?
Yeah.
So I can
don't let the gray hair fool you.
Yeah,
all right.
I can go back to the last time we had a boom of real estate where it was a seller's market, and you had a for sale by owner company that used to put signs in the yard and they charge a flat fee, and the owner, you had to make appointments with the owner. Do you see them around anymore? No. They're not around anymore. Yeah. OfferPad is going to be here as long as that huge group of investors can buy low and sell high. And when that goes away, they're gone. They're not your competition. OfferPad, for example, when they go make an offer to you as a seller, and I'm the listing agent, I still got to give them 3% of my fee because they use a licensed agent to write the contract. Plus OfferPad charges the seller a 9% fee for doing this. So when they advertise on TV that they're going to pay your closing costs and help you move, that's coming out of that 9%, okay? So they're just not, if you study what they're doing and you learn what they're doing, you can explain it away with confidence, and they're not your competition.
Awesome. Becky.
I've probably been around longer than Tom. And years ago, we really suffered to tears over a company called Discovery.
Yeah, Home Discovery. Yep, that was
They
it.
were absolutely horrific, and they went under. However, remembering the name, because he was in my son's fraternity. His name is Steve Johnson. He's back out again with a 2%. His daddy backs him, and Dad gets really tired after a certain period of time. It sounds really good, but it's not really 2%. He gets 2.
Right.
You got to do the everything else on top of it.
That's right. And then what they're doing, their model is they do 2% listings and they offer $1 co-brokes in the MLS. $1. All right.
And then you have to get paid by your buyer.
Correct. Exactly. Brian.
Every industry goes through that.
Absolutely.
We have people in our industry that I just cringe when I see somebody pay something from a company.
Yep.
Oh my God, I lost this company and they are not going to be pleased.
It's, you know what, you get what you pay for, and here's the thing, you value proposition your client, right? And you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, all right? And it is what it is, and sometimes it may take a little bit for the population to educate themselves. Home Discovery, they might do 1,000 sales before all of a sudden now they've got 400 lawsuits stacked up.
Oh, yeah.
Right, exactly, and then this happens. Yeah, Patty.
Well, unlike Zillow, who seem to be wanting to partner with, if you
or
pay
sell
them a
us,
lot,
yeah, right. If we pay them,
a lot
right,
of money
exactly.
a month, they'll make you the feature realtor.
Right.
But Redfin is the ones that are trying to recruit agents, and they're offering 1% to the seller to use them as the
right, they're rebating
selling,
back. Right, exactly.
I mean the listing agent.
Right.
They're rebate. Yeah.
So Redfin has money now because they raised all this money.
buyers and sellers.
Correct.
Zip Realty does the same thing.
Which does?
Zip. Zip, Z-I-P. Yeah, they're not as big because they don't have the money that Redfin.
They were big in the market for a while, and then when their program didn't work, of course they're very small now. Okay, but that's what I'm telling you. You got to study what your competition is, and then you've got to present yourself with the ultimate confidence that you're better. You don't tear them down. You just say, "This is what I'm going to do for you," with confidence. You'll sign them up.
Yep.
I actually was shown a home in a very nice neighborhood with $600,000, $700,000 homes. And as I was driving to my appointment, I saw OfferPad. Was OfferPad one of those strange ones like that? And I looked it up. It was OfferPad. I looked it up and tried to. I can't find the information the details of the deal, because I would like to be able to overcome objections.
Sure.
I did have a listing appointment with someone.
Just get
who
online
had
and put
exactly
your own
that.
address in and tell them you're thinking about selling.
That's
Would
what
they
I
make an
did.
offer? And you'll get all the information that you need.
Because this client wanted me to list her home for 2% and pay all her closing costs on her new home.
Yeah.
And I basically told her, no, I don't know any realtor that would agree to pay all your closing costs. We don't even know what you're buying.
Right.
You know, could be.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, these have been around forever. In a free market society, it will always be around. Okay, that's all okay, right? Let somebody. Now again, you got to be real careful. How in the world can they do that? And then all of a sudden, well, trust me. Do you think in a group of 48 top brokers in the state of Florida, all right, that I'm they're excited to have me there? All right, got Bill Watson, right? Great guy. But Bill Watson wants to separate you from 40% of your commission dollar every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Right? Okay, and Bill's a great guy. Right? He's built a, you know what? But he's looking at me like I'm Home Discovery.
You got it.
All right?
Yeah.
To him, he's like, how in the world you're killing our industry, dude? Right?
And
Okay? Okay? What's that? Now, you guys are happy as the consumer of that I exist. All right? Now, my job is how can I provide what Bill Watson provides at a lower cost? It's called the free market, okay? It's, all right, you should, go read Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations, all right? It's an awesome book, by the way, written in probably 1720 something, right? That basically explains the American economy, or why the American economy works, right? And it's very, very interesting. That being said, I get it, right? I'm not saying I'm discounting what you're seeing from off of the K.
I just didn't know how to.
Yeah, I would just, you know what? Pretend like you're the consumer and then go after it and then make a business decision if you can operate in competition with them or let them just cut their own throat and let it go away. But here's the thing. The other thing, one of the other books I would suggest you read, we read a lot of books. We don't assign this in 100K because it's kind of next level stuff, right? But The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, all right, written by Gary Keller. Great book, all right? By the way, Gary Keller's a genius in this because all he did to write that book was interview top teams. All right, it's awesome. They wrote the book for him, all right, and he gets to put his name on the book. So that's awesome. But in The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, it says you better have your value proposition in place, right? People will do business with you. Here's the beauty of real estate as compared to, you know what? Fact is, I can buy my Ferragamos online cheaper than I can at the Ferragamo store in Copley Place in Boston. All right? I was just there. All right? And I saw the Ferragamo store. All right? And I will. Hey, you know what? I know I wear an 8.5. All right? It's not like I have to go, you know what? I know I like these and here I go. But, okay? Here's the beauty of real estate. It is a highly, highly emotional thing. All right? That is to our advantage. As much as it frustrates the bejesus out of you sometimes, that you've got these clients who are freaking out and all that kind of stuff, guess what? Therein lies the reason why robots will never sell real estate. I'm just telling you. It is way too emotional of an experience, all right? It's not like buying a pair of Ferragamos, all right? Okay, it's not. Okay? There's a difference in that. So understand that and utilize that to your advantage and discuss it, right? Have that relationship with your client and get and by the way, we teach you face-to-face techniques. Look for ways to get face-to-face with people, right? Because you will win. Here's what we have all sorts of hashtags that start flying in 100K, all right? This is a really long one. Ready? Okay? Hashtag face-to-face beats pixel-to-face any day of the week. What does that mean? That means, oh, I got to go buy a sidebar ad on Zillow in order to even survive in real estate. Wrong. You need to go have a cup of coffee with your daughter's preschool teacher. That's what you need to do. Yeah. Sam.
Can I give a plug for 7L?
Yeah. Please.
I do group coaching with Michael Mayer.
Yeah, so much that he called and sang happy birthday to you.
Yeah, he did.
And she gave me grief because I didn't sing happy birthday to her. But then I told her my gift to her was that I didn't sing happy birthday. That's a gift, trust me, all right? The fact I didn't sing. Go ahead, sorry.
I do group coaching, and I've been doing it now for a little over a year, and I have to tell you that I've gotten more from him out of that group coaching than I ever got doing one-on-one coaching with Brian Buffini, and I love Brian.
Sure.
But he didn't give me through that one-to-one coaching what I've gotten through Michael Mayer and the group coaching, and it's really affordable. So if you're not being coached by somebody, I'd look into that.
It's awesome. That's great advice. It's good stuff. Here's the cool thing. In 100K, we're going to read Michael's book. All right. The first order of business is to read Michael's book, 7 Levels of Communication. All right. And the cool thing is, it basically is, if you have the discipline, all right, it can be your coach. Right? That and the group that we put together, because all it does, by the way, it's a narrative, it's a story of a guy who's looking to get out of real estate because he's burned out and feels like he can't happen anymore and so on and so forth. And it walks you through 7 coaching sessions that this guy has with a one-on-one coach. So why not let the book, but even better, all right, absolutely to hear from Michael. But I'm just telling you, there is the knowledge out there. What to do is not the other thing you're gonna, by the way, let me just give you a fair warning. If you're coming to 100K, remember, did you guys see the registration cost to get in the door was? Zero. All right, I do that for a reason. There's pluses and minuses behind that. First of all, the minus is when I charge zero, people tend to undervalue it. All right, so I've struggled with this, right? I guarantee it is every bit as good, if not better, than the $850 you'd put into Bold. All right, okay? It really would, okay? All right? Okay, right? Over and over again, right? Exactly. Because here's the problem. And the Bold's good stuff, all right? Don't get me wrong. Bold's good stuff, but it's, again, success principles don't change, right? We're all teaching the same thing, right? The difference in knowing and doing, that gap is where success lies. Period. You all know what to do, all right? And if you're coming to 100K for a magic pill, it ain't there, right? But the implementation, the actual, this time I'm going to do it, all right? And I've learned that the differentiator between those who do and those who don't are those who do. There's some really deep thoughts there. You're going to hear all sorts of sage wisdom coming out of 100K, trust me, all right? The difference between those who do and those who don't are those who do, right? And what that means is you actually implement. All right, you actually are going to go out and not just go eat another bagel, go to learn about something new, this new technique, and then go home, not do it, wake up the next morning and go eat another bagel, learn something new, go home, not do it, wake up the next morning, and this time eat a donut instead of a bagel, and go learn something new and not do it. When the reality is, if any of those three its, if you actually implemented, probably would have worked. Right? It's just that. And now because of that, that was the minus of charging zero. The plus of charging zero is not only do I step on toes, but I stomp. All right, so you better wear closed-heeled or closed-toed shoes, right? Because don't come to me and say you want to make $100,000 a year in the real estate business and be in the top 3% of wage earners in the United States of America and not be willing to change. Okay? It just doesn't exist. That's why, by the way, we start with 100 and we end up with 20. All right? They dwindle away. Because everybody starts rah-rah, it's all exciting, it sounds good, but then when the work hits, that's when rubber meets the road and people start to, the grandkids and my son's soccer. I get all that, all right? But here's the reality, okay? And again, it's not about money. We talk about that too, all right? It is not about money. It's about a way of life and being a good steward of the talents that the good Lord has given you, right? And I look around the room and I've got all sorts of great looking people with incredible personalities and the ability to reach people that I can't reach because of my personality. Each of us has that group dynamic that's going to affect and be able to reach other people, right? And they need you, right? And as soon as we get to that mindset shift, that boy, I can't wait to go find somebody else who needs me today, rather than, boy, I got to go find somebody who needs me today, right? And try and convince them that they need me. No, you know what? I just walk down the street and people say, you know what? I need to know that guy. You know what? That guy, that gal, I don't know what it is, but I just want to be in business with that person, right? That's the air we're going to learn to portray. All right? And we're going to attract business and not chase it. Cool? I'm just telling you, it's great stuff. I challenge you to come if you haven't been. All right? If you've been and want to refresh, come. All right? Because what we're going to do is those last 6 sessions, the first 2 we lay out the groundwork, and after that it's just, you know what? The last 6 sessions, pure, raw, unadulterated accountability. All right? Leave your excuses at the door. Save the drama for your mama. All right? All those other things you want to talk about, all right? I don't want to hear it. Okay? What you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you say. Oh, I'd like to. One day I might if. All right? Trust me, and all I'm doing is repeating what Jeanette tells me every day. All right, okay? Okay. It's a pretty simple process. It's the easiest class for me to teach. I just take notes. All right? And I just go back and repeat what Jeanette has kicked me out the door. All right? And said to do. Cool? Now, give me 4 minutes. Last thing. All right? I got a chance to spend some time in Washington, D.C. Last month. All right? Up with the last year I was the chairman of the top 50 brokers in the state of Florida, right? And I cycled out of that, but I'm still part of that group. So it's a good group to be part of because we kind of dialogue back and forth and we kind of share some. And actually, there is no. Everybody knows that Bill Watson has his model, and the exit people have their model, and the 100%ers like us, and there are more of us coming, right? There's a lot of South Florida, Miami guys in there, all right? They have their model like mine, and so on and so forth, and everybody's, doing it and making things work, and it's all good. Self-admitted, had not been a huge supporter, of RPAC and what we do at that level. Just, there was some stuff that came out on occasion, I'm like, yeah, not so sure I agree with you. An example, back when the market, when we crashed in 2009, and NAR was pushing for this big, let's give first-time home buyers, whatever, 28 grand or whatever they were giving them out of the government coffers to try and stimulate the economy. I'm not a Keynesian by nature. All right, if you can look that one up. Boy, you know what? Stop watching TV. The other thing we're going to do is we raise our right hand and we're going to say, I agree to stop watching TV and start reading books. Right? Educate yourself a little bit. All right? Keynes. Look it up. All right? It's a difference in... Keynesians would say, hey, you know what? Free enterprise guys are trickle down. All right? I say, well, Keynesians are trickle down. They just want the government to trickle it down. I think free enterprise should trickle it down. So either way, it's trickle down, whatever you want to call it. All right? That being said... I was not a big fan of some of the stuff that they proposed. I was up there in July, and NAR their building is like within 2 blocks of the Capitol. All right, Tom, you've probably been there?
Yeah.
Okay. And we had a chance, let me tell you this, NAR and our lobbying panel wields power. All right, I learned that we got doors open to us that we would not have had opened. It was just the Florida delegation was there, all right, in this case. But every representative I spoke to, whether it be congressional or Senate or in Treasury Department, and every person that I spoke to just said, hey, look, you got to understand that everybody has their own interests. Remember, wasteful government spending, the definition of that is spending in somebody else's district, right? It's wasteful in somebody else's congressional district, but in our district, it's, we need that. Yeah, that's right. It's earmarked, and we need that money, right? It's a stimulus, right? And so I get that, and they're being pulled by all these different things, and not necessarily that NAR's looking for money, but I'm just telling you, these people told me to my face, hey, look, a lot of lobbyists come in and meet with us, right? You guys have power, all right? The NAR lobby can make our life pleasant or a living hell, all right? They really can. And whether we like the system or not, should the system be that way? I was just up in Boston and got to go see John Adams' homes, by the way, in Quincy. Incredible. But we get a chance to go see, they have the desk where he, basically penned the Massachusetts state constitution, but also did his portion because he was, along with Jefferson, everybody wrote the Declaration, and they also hammered out the Constitution. I mean, all that stuff is still there. I mean, it's incredible. Right? They preserved it. So I get chills just thinking about being there in the room when these guys did that kind of stuff, right? That being said, whether we like the system as it's become or not, I get it. All right, trust me, I'm not a big fan of it. But I have become a larger, I've had my eyes opened a little bit, and I'm going to encourage you that it's real easy for us to just click no on the is it $25 the minimum contract?
Yeah,
$20, I think. 99's one.
For 99,
right?
But the minimum is 25.
Okay.
And the issue is that the Greater Tampa Realtors has met their RPAC goal.
Awesome.
In the second month of this year.
Awesome.
And we have about a 26% participation.
Yep.
Out of the 95 to 9,800 members that we have.
Right.
And right now, our biggest battle is flood insurance.
Huge. We thought we made some progress.
Flood insurance. The subsidy for flood insurance reinstated, and if you don't think that's an important issue to put your $25 in for, you don't belong in this business, because if the flood insurance goes away, property values of waterfront properties are going to drop a minimum of 10 to 11%.
Because the market's going to have to suck up that increased premium. All right, it's huge.
Yes.
All right. So, and it's September 30th is the deadline date. We thought we made some progress. Matter of fact, NAR did a really good job lobbying and getting some things on the table. But now, not only the Florida delegation is pretty solid. It's just that it's hard getting somebody in Kansas,
correct,
right,
that's the problem,
to do it. But the reality is, guess what? Open your newspaper today. All right. There's plenty of people in Texas and plenty of people in Oklahoma that are dealing with floods right now, right? So maybe some of this stuff will open their eyes, but we've got, and so it's trust me, it's you know, they call creating legislation like making sausage, right? You want to eat it, you just don't want to see how it's done, right? Okay, right? And so that being said, right, you just got to, you know, so I'm going to encourage you, if you haven't done it, and I guess it's me self-admitting in front of God and the world, right, that I had not been a huge RPAC supporter, because part of it was because of the system. It's like, dadgummit, why do we have to give money to do the right thing, right? Okay, but the reality is we have to give money for sometimes to get them to see the benefit of doing the right thing. I'm going to encourage you. It's a minimal investment, $25.99 is encouraged. All right, so go back, if you haven't done it, go back and reconsider is all I'm asking you to do. And pay attention when those call to actions come out. They make a difference. These people quoted me the numbers. I was sitting with, you know, congressional delegation. They said, yeah, last time.
The Realtor PAC is one of the strongest in the country.
It is. And they wield power, right? And so because of that, because of our size, the nice thing is that, trust me, I'm a member of about 18 boards, something like that. Jim, we're a member of boards all over the place, right? Okay, so paying all these individual dues. All right, the fact that our MLS fees are as low as they are is because of the power of numbers. We can divide it up by 9,800 people, right? We can do it. Trust me.
Actually, there's 40,000 in MFR dollars.
Right, across the whole board. Right, exactly, with Orlando and everybody else. And here's the problem. In my Hernando MLS dues are twice as much as my Mid-Florida regional MLS. My Florida, why? Because Hernando has 800 people, right? Okay, so because of that, $25 makes a big difference when you multiply it times 1.2 million members, right? And they can wield power and really hammer some things down. So I'm going to encourage you, because it was eye-opening for me. So let my eye-opening be eye-opening for you, as I'm going to encourage you to do that. All right, if you trust me on that, to do that. Take the money that you wouldn't have spent on Bold and put 25 of it toward RPAC. All right, fair enough. All right, to go that direction, you do that. All right, I know we ran a little bit late. Any questions I can answer for everybody? All right, continue to build your teams. When I say teams, I'm talking about home warranty, title, property management. Continue to educate yourself, right? Look at the board offerings. There's incredible stuff. Having trouble getting a real good value of what the property values are? Go take an RPR class, people. I'm telling you, it's incredible stuff. Okay, really is good. And I challenge you, all right, to see to come to one of the 100K launches coming up. Cool? All right. Have a great week. If you need anything else, let me know. Remember, the best way to reach me is email me, because that's the easiest thing for me to forward to Jim. All right.
I just missed you.